Bluff City Media presents the 2 Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to your Thursday edition of the 2 Buck Sports Show. I am your co-host, Rusty Buckets, and we are brought to you by FanDuel, the official odds provider of Bluff City Media and the 2 Buck Sports Show. I got my guy, Jared Davidson, here with me today. Drew had a last-minute call out. Jared is hopping in with me. How are you today, sir?
Man, doing good. Just getting some work done before I head out over more towards Middle Tennessee this evening. But no, man, we're doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, man. It's a gloomy day here in East Memphis, but you know what? It is, as long as you're on this side of the dirt, you are doing just fine, as my papa would say. So, again, I appreciate you hopping in today. I know you've got a time crunch. I've got a full afternoon of doing some scouting for a client. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to dive right into what has been the Memphis Grizzlies over the last 10 games. Welcome back. Yes, sir. The 2 Bucks are brought to you by FanDuel and Grind City Brewing. They've got some big events coming up this weekend. They're going to have all the bowl games coming up, the official first round of college football playoff on the big screen there at Grind City Brewing. Y'all go check them out. In the meantime, we are talking about the Memphis Grizzlies in our first segment of our Thursday show. Jared and you and I talked about it last night on the post-game bounce. If y'all aren't in the comments on those, make sure y'all check those out. They're a ton of fun, a great way to instant react to the game and get your thoughts off in the comment section. But after that 116-110 win kind of settled, any other thoughts came up, or what is your biggest takeaways from that game?
One that came up, we talked about the starting lineup and BC starting right away. I was glad to see, we touched on it a little bit with keeping Jock off the bench. I was glad to see T.I. make an adjustment and go with size on size. That's what I really like to see. And because who knows if BC starts on Saturday, it could go back to Santi against the Wizards with Ja and Cam hopefully being back. So I'm glad he looked at who he was going across and realizing that we were already slim. Go ahead and put the best possible 5 out on the floor that you think is going to be your best possible 5. BC has a history against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I'm glad that he went big and made those adjustments, and adjustments we really haven't seen from T.I. a lot this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was a fun change last night. And Kenny, go ahead and get ready to clip this. I'm not all the way in on T.I. yet. I still have some reservations and thoughts. But I'm kind of starting to see the vision kind of coming in, right? Because like last night, we were able to run Minnesota off the court. And that's what I think allowed us to come back late is our line changes, getting fresh legs in there. And by the end of the game, you saw Chris Finch was having to do the same thing last night to get his guys fresh against our fresh legs. The way T.I. kind of had us subbing in and out last night. I felt like it gave us a good chance to be fresh late when it mattered in crunch time in a game that was proving to be tight. And that's exactly what happened. We were ready to go late. And I think some of that can be attributed to some of these lineup changes.
Yeah, and he stole a few minutes here and there with Jemai Meshack. And obviously BC was kind of on a restriction about 18 minutes. But he also stole a few minutes when you needed to with Jemai Meshack running the guard on a night where it was point guard by committee. We had said running point for a little bit last night, even Jalen Wells to start the game. So we kind of harped on it last night a little bit, or you just kind of said it there too. Stealing minutes where you need to steal minutes with, your guys on your two ways, especially like Jemai, Omax, just those guys being able to steal minutes. I forget who our third two-way is.
Javon Small, but he's been
that's right, he's hurt
out.
But yeah, so just able to steal minutes of those guys, and then really, and obviously dealing with BC's minutes restriction. Yes, you dressed 10, you played 10, but really you had 7 guys who got 23 minutes or more. And he, like you said, I think that's a good sign. He knew to stick to those guys, and it was kind of forced his hand, and he saw that it worked. So maybe it pays off when we get into these later season crunch time games where he realized, hey, I need to shrink down to the guys who are playing their 7 best minutes. I guarantee you if Omax would have came in and started lighting it up, Omax would have played more than 15. So it's just one of those things where I think we're starting to see T.I. get a little bit more of the feel and come out of his robotic self.
I see that. I see that's the vision I'm starting to see, because what I've seen through the first 20 games was robotics sticking to mathematics, sticking to the minutes restrictions, the minutes, no matter what it was. Like there was no deviation from that whatsoever. And over this recent winning streak that we're on, I think we're winners of like 7 of our last 10 or something. I saw like
9 of our last 12.
9 of our last 12. Like you're starting to see some evolution of T.I. as a coach. He is putting Jock Landale in when we needed it last night, and he played really, really well. When we got some JMU in the comments. Let's go. We'll get to college football here in a little bit, but he left Jock Landale in last night when he had the hot hand. He started BC last night when we needed some size. I like seeing Omax get some run. And yes, Wayno, I did hold my breath, but John Morant needs to take some notes from Omax, and Omax just popped right back up, shook it off, walked it off, and then kept playing, was ready to go. I did like a lot of what I saw last night, including – this was one of the points I was going to make. Shout out Ninja DJ. If you're on X, if you're in YouTube, you hadn't said hi yet, please hop in the comments. You help drive the show and help us kind of – this is your show. Y'all come help us out. We love hanging out with y'all here. And when you get here, give us that thumbs up. It helps us more than you know. But I did enjoy Point said last night. He didn't have the best offensive game, but he had elite defensive play, and he actually kind of drove the offense a little bit. Like, he's a rookie, and there's still a lot to go. He's hit that rookie wall a bit on offense. A, B, on a road trip like this, it's hard for rookies to compete and play well night in and night out. But what I love the most about Cedric Coward is like he's like the most talented glue guy we've ever had, because he does all the little things well, and he's got a killer mid range, and he rebounds like a guard never does, and he played point guard last night. Like, I've yet to see something this kid can't do.
Like you said, the intricacies of being a rookie are going to get ironed out because, like you said, didn't have the best offensive game last night, had a few mistakes here and there, but his IQ is beyond that of a rookie. He's making plays off ball. He's making plays on defense. And obviously we saw last night with being a ball handler, he's going to make the smart play, and he's not going to second guess it. He makes a mistake. So what? He's not a rookie who lets that affect his entire game. That's what I've loved about Cedric Coward. It's next play mentality. And you go back and fix the things later when you look at film. When you're on the plane to the next city, when you have a few off days like the Grizzlies do here now, you fix that after it's said and done, but you keep going out and being a ball player. And that's what I love about Cedric Coward. He will have some clutch buckets. He had a couple against the Clippers where he still only finished like 15 points. He's going to make clutch plays, whether it's scoring, defense, or just being in the right spot at the right time. It's Cedric Coward. He does everything that you want out of a rookie, even though, like you said, that rookie wall it's not lurking anymore. It's here for him on the offensive side, but he's still just making the winning plays.
And he's just, like you said, getting exposure, getting reps, seeing the ball go through the net. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be upset if he spent time. It's almost like when you're new at your job and you shadow different roles. Like, let that man play 1 through 4 and just get some run in all the positions to get used to bigger bodies, playing in space. Like, he was able to defend off because Minnesota's a good defensive team. They got some pesky defenders in Dillingham and Bones Highland and Jaden McDaniel. Like, those guys are good defenders. And he was able to get the ball up, get the offense set, and get motion going. Like, it stopped me if this is a broken record, but we were saying the same thing last year at this point about Jalen Wells, right? Jalen Wells was in the same boat last year where he was doing all the little things well. He was defending when his shot wasn't falling. He was rebounding. He was hustling, doing the little things. Well, I got news for you. What I've seen from Cedric Coward, and this is no shade towards Jalen Wells whatsoever, but Cedric Coward is infinitely more talented than Jalen Wells.
Yes.
Again, no shade to Jalen Wells because he's a phenomenal NBA player and will be a great 3-and-D, like a great 3-and-D wing player, off the bench, starter, 6-man, whatever. Long career there. But I think we can agree that Cedric Coward's more talented. So if we're seeing the same things that we saw from Jalen at this point last year in Cedric, and we've seen the jump that Jalen has made, can you imagine what's going to happen when Cedric has a full NBA season, a full off season, because he didn't get a full off season last year because of his injuries, but a full season, full off season training regimen under his belt? Jared, we might have something in 2-3. We
do. And even that, you look at Jalen Wells before he got undercut last year to end the season and missed the last 3 games of the regular season, played 79 out of 82. Rusty, he started to get that hot streak after that rookie wall. And if Cedric goes on that same trajectory and gets hot again in the second half of the year, you add that along with playing with Jalen Wells, you have a deadly 2-3. Like that, no pun intended, as Cedric Coward is 2-3, as you just mentioned. But at the 2 and at the 3 spot, those two are going to be deadly together in that starting lineup.
And then you add a spacer like Cam Spencer, you add a spacer like Ty Jerome.
Yep.
Like there is just infinite possibilities, especially when you talked about Jalen Wells. Shout out Brett Usher NBA. He's a big statistician. The Grizzlies have won 9 of their last 12. And over that stretch, Jalen Wells has averaged 16.8 points on 69.7% true shooting, 58% on 5 2-point attempts per game, 47% on almost 5 3-point attempts per games, and 83% on 5 free throw attempts. I may be speaking out of turn here, Jared, but a 58, 48, 83 slash line for a second-year player, I think is pretty good.
I think it's pretty good as well. As a player who actually wasn't really touted for his offensive game coming out of college.
Yeah, and the guy, like, he just continues to be a plus defender. Like, we keep going back. We keep talking about, Luke Kennard this and Desmond Bane that. And I do think we're kind of replacing what they could do in the aggregate. We don't right now have that guy like Desmond Bane that can walk in a gym and give you 36 points on 10 of 13 shooting, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc on a consistent basis. Cam Spencer's been the best basketball player in the world over the last 2 weeks. And I think, very easily think he could do it. But if we could kind of replace that kind of production across a Ty Jerome and a Cam Spencer with a little Jalen Wells sprinkled in there, a little Cedric Coward sprinkled in there, some KCP sprinkled in there too. Like if you could get that same production across 5 guys, that makes it almost even tougher, because what do you do as a basketball team when you've got 3 or 4 dudes that are just on your ass from the 3-point line and busting it? And then you got Zach Edey as a monster in the middle. And my guy, Jaren Jackson Jr., welcome to the 2025-2026 season. But to button up that thought, like when you've got 4 guys like that, what do you do defensively when there's so many options versus just that one dude that can get you that?
You hope and pray.
Yeah, that's the defense. The defensive mindset, thoughts and prayers.
100%. It's just this team is about to have I said it last night, I said it this morning. This team's about to have a really good problem. Apologies that you see the head of my dog right here.
Shelby keeps running in and out. You're fine.
This team's about to have a really good problem. He's about to have a really good problem with just how we're able to space the floor and the emergence of Jaren Jackson Jr. over the last 2 games. We saw it with 27 and 24 points earlier against New Orleans and the Clippers. Now you're starting to see that consistency because he's finally playing with confidence. He's realizing what he should be doing. There was a conversation a few weeks ago when he had his first 27-point game of the year. It was like, hey, Jaren's finally like looking like he's engaged a little bit. And then he kind of fell back into that, hermit crab shell of his. And then he comes back out of it and just looks like he's a whole new player playing really well. This team's about to be deadly at all 3 levels. And then on the other side of the court, Jaren has 10 stocks in the last 2 games.
Welcome back, sir. Like this is proof of like we didn't need to be panicking over Jaren. Like this is still in there, and it's 2 basketball games. It's a small sample size, but it's against some elite front court teams. Yeah. Zubac is a great front court defender, big body, mean, ugly, nasty rebounder. Say what you want about Minnesota, but they are tall, they are long. They had Jaden McDaniels on him most of the night last night, and he is a terrific defender at 6'9". And can give you this. Then other than that, then they put big bully Julius Randle on him, and he still found ways to get that floater going, that hook going, leaning into Julius Randle. When he couldn't move Julius Randle, he did a turnaround fadeaway on him, and it was very much vintage Jaren. And it's not that I don't think it's that T.I. has unleashed him. I don't think that the system is like what I think it is Jaren finally just decided I'm going to go play my game and be the talented basketball player that I am. You can see, and you pointed this out last night, you can see the mindset switch. Like when he gets the ball, it's no longer processing, thinking, oh, should I make a move? Should I pass? Do I need to look cross court? Instead, it's get the ball, see ball, dunk ball. And that's what it feels like he's doing. And it still turned into one of the best passes of his career last night, where he got crashed in the lane and he hit that little like wraparound pass to Jock on the wing for the 3. That was one of the best assists of Jaren's entire career. And it's because he's not thinking and he's free flowing once again. Yeah,
he's not second guessing himself. We saw that a lot earlier in the year when he would get the ball and they would send a double and he would just get trapped and kind of hold the ball, like trying to protect it, not get a turnover. He's being quick with it. If he sees a double team, he's either passing it or he's spinning the opposite way to where he knows he has a free lane. And it's just good to see Jaren be good with the footwork and not thinking, knowing that, hey, if I don't hold the ball long, good things are going to happen. And that's what we saw early in the season.
BK talked about that on the broadcast last night. Like, they took away his left hand. Jaren's left-handed. That's his comfortable side. And what did he do? He had about a dozen right-handed layups last night. Like, he just went right all night long. Yep. And I think a lot of that has to do with some of the supporting cast around him. Edwards right on time, man. BC, I don't think we really appreciated it. Drew and I talked about this on Monday. Like, I don't know that we really saw how much we missed Brandon Clark.
Yeah.
Until watching him play last night. The bounce, the energy he plays with. No offense to Zach Edey. Zach Edey's not playing right now, but Brandon Clark's probably one of the best pick setters and pick and roll bigs we've ever had, and might still be even when Edey's on the court. And I'm a huge Edey guy, but that's what Brandon Clark does. And what Brandon Clark did last night was create space for Jaren in the paint by making Rudy Gobert come out, pulling him away. Jock Landale did the same thing.
Yep.
But BC gave us energy in the starting lineup that we haven't seen, and it was right on brand. He somehow looked more bouncy and more athletic last night after a knee cleanup surgery.
Yeah.
But I think Brandon Clark is going to be, and I'll confess, I was on the hey, let's package BC and see what we can get for him. But after seeing him in just one game in the offense last night, Jared, I really think there is a role for him in this offense.
It opens up your front court a lot more, and we'll see this when Ja gets back as well, that teams know what BC is strong at, and that's sitting in that dunker spot on the block. He's lurking for a second chance point to where teams can't crash. And like when Jaren or Jock or even Set, whoever it is now, Edey, when they're down low, they cannot crash, because if he misses or he throws one over the rim, BC's waiting on the other side because he knows how to get to his spot. I was with you. I still kind of feel this way a little bit. It feels like we're getting ready to package BC just a little bit and maybe trying to showcase him before February gets here with the trade deadline. But I don't want to do it right now. That's the thing. It's just watching him be in that spot and making teams think it's like, oh, well, what the Grizzlies have their dunker back. They have their springboard back on the low block. We have to watch that now. It just opens up another area of this team to where they have to game plan for it. And like I said, cannot crash on Jaren, cannot crash on Jock. When they do, someone on the wing is open, or like I said, BC is waiting on the block for a missed shot or a pass.
Yeah, this is a three-headed monster at center, truly, because it's three different centers. You've got Edey, who is an absolute monster, just a post-up machine. He can seal you under the basket and then dunk without jumping. You got Brandon Clark, who is going to be high motor and run your center to death. He's 6'8", but you nailed it. He knows and understands rebounding positions almost to like a Rodman type level, to where it's like, I'm not the biggest guy on the court, but I'm going to get you 8 or 10 rebounds because I understand leverage and positioning.
Well, yeah, all 3 of his rebounds last night were offensive.
And then you've got Jock, who is a true stretch 5, who can block shots, has an elite, ugly, but an elite three-point shot for a big. And so it's a true three-headed monster on the block, and it makes other guys around him. It makes Cedric better, who we thought, like, Cedric kind of, King Meeks nails it here. He kind of is what we thought Gigi was going to be, that high motor, energy wing guy who can get you buckets. But then, like, and just like, I keep coming back to this point, and this is why I've had people, friends of mine, that have texted me all year long, are you out on the Grizzlies? Is it tank time? Blah, blah, blah. And I always tell them the same thing. No, because we haven't seen the Grizzlies yet. And so by mid-January, we should have most of our dudes back. Ja, Edey, Ty Jerome, Cam Spencer, Knocko Wood, maybe even Scottie Pippen Jr., who I think is probably most likely to be traded. But we've yet to see what a lineup of Ja, Said, Jalen, Jaren, Edey, backed up by Ty, Cam, KCP, Santi, BC/Jock even looks like. Because then you can run these guys in and out, and you can have Ja and Ty and Jaren on the court at the same time. Good luck guarding one of those guys. Because if you crash on Jaren, Ty Jerome is going to light you on fire. Cam Spencer as well. If you go and cover Ja, if you crash on Ty Jerome or Cam Spencer in the corner, they can kick it to Jaren on the block, a cutting Ja, and it's an easy layup. Like, this offense, I'm starting to see the vision of what it could be once we have our pieces back. And I mean, it's crazy. Like, Pete said it last night. Ninja DJ says it here. Like, we still have so many pieces to this puzzle missing. When Omax turned his ankle last night, Pete said, in my 30 years of broadcasting, I've never seen a team injury bit like these Grizzlies are. And like, I'm so excited to see what this rotation could look like.
Oh yeah, because here's the thing: people forget, and people. The first question when you see a lineup like Ty, Cam, KCP, like Wayno just said, your first question is, "Where's the defense?" People forget that Ty Jerome and KCP were both top 30 in the league last year in defensive rating. I believe Ty was right at 30 or 28, but KCP was 25. They're not bad defenders. Like you can run that bench lineup and be just fine.
And we've never seen what that looks like around a Ja Morant who struggles defensively, because we've always had to hide Ja and Desmond. Now, they both got better as their career went on. Des was a top 40 defender last year. Like, he got better, but it's not going to be like, oh, well, defensively, because like you said, and like Ninja DJ says here, Ty Jerome was a product of Virginia, and they played defense. They played defense under Coach Bennett over there. And so like, you've got these guys that can play legit defense around Ja that's going to further unlock what Ja Morant can do as a point guard.
And we don't play Golden State until February again, I believe. Late February is when the next time we play them. You know how they like to run small ball. Imagine, just walk with me here, Whiskey. Hang on, walk with me here. You go Ja, Ty, Cam, KCP, and then your big is like a Jaren. Like against a small ball lineup where the Warriors can run out Steph, Pods, Jimmy, Draymond, and
Kuminga,
whoever else, like Kuminga or Moses Moody, one of those two guys. Because the Warriors like to go small. Imagine that lineup. There's so many different plug here, plug there that you can go with this team. There will be some lineups that look bad because T.I. is trying to experiment with what he's got. He hasn't had a chance to work with his full roster yet. I'm just thinking, like, there's so many different combinations you can do to this puzzle.
And that's it. Like, I'm kind of like backing off on some of my early season. I'm not saying I was wrong, but I'm backing off on some of my early season thoughts of, well, we're going to have to go make a trade at the deadline to get X, Y, and Z. Like, it may be another season where our trade line acquisitions are Ty Jerome, Cam Spencer, Scottie Pippen Jr. fully healthy. And then, we're probably going to move some of those guys off. I'm cooling some of my anti-Kleiman thoughts that I was having. I was worried about this team earlier. I was worried about what this team was going to look like. But, like, I'm seeing the vision. I saw him recently at a coffee shop, and I gave him a go Grizz as he was in there. But, like, I kind of want to see him again and be like, hey, man, like, I see it. I see the vision. And
people forget, you don't build a small market team by going out and getting Kevin Durant's, because it's just impossible. Like, you have to draft the likes of a Giannis, of a Jaren, of a Ja, those kind of players. You have to build through the draft, and then late stage veteran signees like KCP, Zebo, and TA. They were late in their careers when they got here. You have to build through veterans wanting to be like, teach the younger generation and still contribute to winning basketball. That's how you build a small market team. I've always been on the train of, Zach Kleiman has his tomfoolery draft picks failing in some trades, but you get late veterans like KCP and like the other two I just mentioned, and you build through the draft like we have with Ty Jerome, who wants to be here. That's another one who took a pay cut to be here. But you look at guys like you have Ja, Jaren through the draft, Edie through the draft, even your second rounders, Jalen Wells. You look at Cam Spencer now, and then you obviously have Sed and Jay Wells. So you have to build through the draft in late stage veterans. And right now, Zach Kleiman's doing that. And I think he caught a lot of heat because of how bad this season started.
Yeah, and unfair, because if you look at the last two draft classes, we've got Edie, Jalen Wells, Cam Spencer, all three contributing at a super high level. Last year, you had Cedric Coward, who's our wing of the future. He's our starting 2-3 guard of the future. Jemai Mashak, who has been hurt but still played competent NBA minutes last night, has been good in the G League. And Javon Small, who showed flashes in the summer league and early season before he got hurt. And I think that, like, those 6 draft picks right there are how you build through the draft. Those are not going to be all NBA type players, all, DPOI, 6 man of the year, but they're going to be good contributing basketball players. And that's what, like, look at Indiana. They have Tyrese Halliburton, they have Pascal Siakam, and then a bunch of role players who do something really, really well. What are we building here? We've got Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and a bunch of dudes who play their positions really well. You've got Edie, who's a great center. Cedric's turning out to be a great wing. Jalen, great combo wing guard. Like, we're building something here, and there's potential here. Like I see the vision. I'm not all the way in yet, but I see the vision.
This is the first time, and even I feel better about the direction that this current team right now is going than I felt about the 21 through 23 team. Just because, like, you knew some of those guys weren't going to be here. They played their best years here. Kyle Anderson and Melt were temporary rentals. Just how this team's going forward, it feels like they actually have a core. I'm not going to say it's up to Golden State level, but Golden State drafted Steph, Clay, and Draymond. They drafted those guys. And Iguodala was an acquisition. I don't know what I was thinking there, but like you have to draft to be well, and like it's just one of those things. Like I feel comfortable now, like I said, that I'm more comfortable about the future than I did about in 21 through 23.
I think what we've done is we've created a longer runway, almost two separate timelines, because you've got the Ja Jaren timeline. Then it's still very much in play. Runway still very much strong. Window 26. Is still very much open. They're 26. We're creating an alternate timeline, almost, a la, Stephen King, Marvel Comics, whatever you want to call it, where you've got a whole different timeline of Edey, Jalen, and Cedric. And by the way, none of those guys are going to command a max or supermax contract. Those are going to be contracts that you can negotiate and work with, because those dudes are like Zach Edey has a freaking Grizzlies tattoo. Like he loves being in Memphis, likes being here. Jalen Wells, Cedric Coward. Cedric could be one that ultimately ends up being like a max player because he's got that much talent. But we're talking down the road to where we can manipulate the contracts of John Jaren to keep them here, because we've created a second timeline with guys that are not second-tier players, but could be second-tier contracts under this new CBA, with the new TV money coming in, that could help us in the future retain these guys, restructuring Ja and Jaren, and keep that timeline and runway open.
And you have to remember, like Santi's contract, when you look at it in the long run, is a steal. Someone would have paid him more.
It's also a very tradable contract.
It is a very tradable contract. And also, too, you look at these guys right now, like Wells, Cam, Zach, and Ced. Their rookie extensions are not going to be terribly expensive. That's another 4 years that you can have.
Jalen Wells not winning Rookie of the Year last year, and Cedric Coward not winning Rookie of the Year this year could be saving grace.
It's a blessing in disguise. It's a blessing in disguise, especially because Flag's probably going to win it for namesake. But you look at those guys.
And Knipple is amazing.
Yeah, Knipple is insane. But you're going to be able to have those rookie extensions. Jaren, this is his last year of that rookie extension. Before his big one kicks in. But those four guys you are going to be able to sign to very, very productive and just what's the word I'm looking for? Affordable second year rookie or second contract rookie contracts because of how well they've played and where they were drafted.
Yeah. Edward, I have hope for GG. He's been balling in the G League. He's a great G League player. I just haven't seen enough in the NBA. I love GG to death. I stand for GG hard on this network last year and at the beginning of this year and this summer, like rooting for the guy. I just don't know. And like part of me, here's the thing. GG's one of our own. I love GG. I've got his rookie card up here. Drew got it for me for Christmas a couple years ago because I was such a big GG fan. Love GG. Part of me is like, I kind of feel bad because Cedric's kind of lapping him. Jalen's kind of distancing himself. Cam is distant. Like we're getting these guys that are being real role players and contributors because they contribute on both ends. That if we can keep him cheap, great. If not, like we can maybe package him and let him go try it somewhere else. I'll always root for the kid, but I just don't. I think he's getting pushed further down the bench, unfortunately.
And he was the second round pick for a reason at 18. Like 18-year-olds that are going to be good are drafted in the first round.
And I still think he's going to be a good NBA player. I just don't know it's here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's here. It's just you see why he fell and what everyone's like, oh, steal. And when he got the all-rookie team, he was playing on a bad team. And so it's the same conversation you have with Lauri Markkanen. He's only shown what he can do on bad teams with the Bulls and the Jazz. I'm afraid that is what we have seen with GG Jackson. So I like GG. I like the potential, but potential is a dangerous word in this league. And you can get caught up in it if you don't nip it in the bud real quick. If GG's going to be good, it's not going to be here.
Yeah, there's still a role on this team for him. Like, he could be Super Santi. We trade Santi and move him, and then he could be in that type of role. Like, his game could be a Santi, Lauri Markkanen type game. That's kind of where I see Gigi landing. But I don't know that he's going to get the reps here in Memphis to fully unlock that. B, like, Gigi plays too much, like, backyard driveway ball to where it's like if you watch Gigi, it's the same thing. My brother's a basketball coach. He coaches my nephew, who's a junior point guard. He's a good point guard, but Ty's biggest problem is when he gets in danger, when defenses come to him. It's the same thing Gigi does. Is you see this, like, he's looking down, like you see the top of his head. When people come to Gigi dribbles a hole in the floor and he watches where the ball is. He doesn't see the floor, and because of that, like, Gigi, it's going to be hard for Gigi to mold into a system when his instinct is, I got to look down and create something, and he ends up just dribbling a hole in the floor, taking a bad shot, or throwing it out of bounds.
Okay, so we also have just seen, bad team with a player who's playing really well and, like, wanting to go to a good team or a team that's supposed to be good and not performing. Look at John Collins. John Collins was great with the Utah Jazz. He was great when he had that conference finals run with the Hawks, but had a few good years in Utah. And now a team that everyone thought was going to be anywhere from like a 3 to a 6 seed in the West is now 6-20 is in the Clippers. And John Collins has not been playing good at all. So
that's it. And
you worry about that.
You do. It's the same. That's why people are talking about, when I saw all these trades a couple weeks ago, packaging up Jaren and trading him for Lauri Markkanen, and it's like, look, I get it. Lauri's fantastic, but he's also on a bad team.
Yep.
And how many times have we seen a Bradley Beal, a John Wall?
I've never seen losing follow him that much.
You're really good on a bad team. You go to a good team and you don't know how to play on a good team because you've been that dude. And that's what Gigi was for us a couple years ago in the injury-riddled season. Like, he was the only competent offensive player. And so we just ran Gigi ISO. Like, it was like, feed 45 and get out of the way. And so that's what Gigi is right now. He is a points merchant on a bad team. I'm not saying that's what Lauri Markkanen is, but I worry, like, there are signs there with some of these guys, or there's at least trends that some of these guys may not translate to a good team, Lauri being one of them. I do think if Gigi was, let's say we package Gigi up and he went to a Utah or a Sacramento, or maybe he went to Charlotte, I think Gigi would be awesome because he would be the offensive go-to guy and he would be awesome. I just don't know how he fits on a Grizzlies or a Pistons or, a Nuggets type team.
Yeah. And another one we could see happen this year if the Jazz decide to move Keontae George, like, who's been dropping 30 plus points recently, and he could get traded to a team who needs it. Like, I don't know, just like, say like Milwaukee or something to try to help Giannis. And then he goes into his shell. Edward, that was both No Bluff and Host and Evan and Chris wanting John Collins.
I mean, Drew and I, we said the same thing. We wanted John Collins Sexton in the law firm, but gosh, we were there.
But anyway, to wrap it up, I love where the Grizzlies are headed right now, especially in this 10 game where we're 5-2, and the last 3 of this, what's going to be this 10 game slate, are Washington, Oklahoma City, and a rematch with Utah.
Yeah, I like that. I like where we're at, because if you look back, we had that 5-game losing streak from November the 9th to November the 18th, where we lost Oklahoma City, New York, Boston, Cleveland, San Antonio, like all pretty good teams. Since we played Sacramento on the 20th, we're 9-3. Like, we're playing much better basketball. I know we're looking at 10 games at a time. That's a 12-game span. Forgive me for going 2 more. I've also seen, the last thing I want to talk about the Grizzlies here, I've also seen some stuff about, are the Grizzlies better without Ja Morant? They're winning more games without Ja Morant. I want to squelch that right now and say I think that's a byproduct of the schedule, because the games that Ja Morant played in, we played winning teams, good basketball teams, while we were still ironing out the wrinkles of this system. We were playing, I know Cleveland's not the best, but we had Cleveland, right? San Antonio, Denver, like some good teams that he played against that he didn't like quite live up to it. I think now that we're getting to some winnable games, because January is very kind to us from a scheduling component, outside of Oklahoma City once, Denver at the end of the month, and Houston in back-to-back. We get the Lakers on the 2nd and the 4th. Like, January is a pretty kind month to us from a scheduling standpoint. there's a real chance that all those faceless bot accounts that are saying, the Grizzlies are better without Ja Morant, he need, blah, 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 are going to be eating a lot of crow at the end of January. We went on a winning streak with Ja because the schedule eases up.
Well, you look at it when we went 17-4 without him back when the year we had Tyus. We didn't play good teams. And it is a byproduct of the schedule. And you look at the last game he played against LA, he had good minutes, still passing the ball. Just he was getting to his spots. He looked better in the system.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I hate that narrative. No team has has been competitive in the postseason without a good bench. You can go back to however many finals you want to, teams that have won it. Oklahoma City has a great bench. You look at the Warriors when they won before KD, had a great bench with Harrison Barnes and eventually moving Iguodala to the bench as well. The Heat had a good Mario Chalmers coming off the bench. Just you look at any team that has won the finals.
Be careful saying Mario Chalmers' name around here. Memphis Tiger fans still get upset, even if he was the Grizzly for a little while.
Yeah, they do. But like every team it needs to have a good bench, and the Grizzlies have a great bench in a system that benefits bench players.
Yep. Well, y'all come out Friday night or Saturday night. Saturday night. I'll be in the building. Jared, I believe, will be in the build. No, you're there for the Bucks game. I'm there for the Wizards game on the 20th. Y'all come out 7:00. We'll preview that game more tomorrow. I think it's a team where us starting BC we could see BC starting again. They're a smaller team. They don't have like a big bruising center like some of these other teams. I think it could be a good game. We'll talk more about that on tomorrow's show. But we do have some college football controversy to get to. There was an interesting news bit drop that I want to get Jared's take on. And then we're talking Alabama at Oklahoma on the other side of this commercial break.
In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem.
You know what else is pretty awesome? The NBA Cup final game.
Dude, that was a great game.
Pretty good, man. I for all the crap that the NBA Cup gets about not being important, not being fun, not being cool, teams not taking it seriously. I will say it felt like these two teams took it pretty damn seriously last night.
The cup means something to the players. Like people, fans, and every outsiders can hate it all they want to. I like it.
I like it.
It gives you meaningful. It gives you meaningful basketball in the first third of the season. I hope we get to a point where they move it to like a 2-week stretch, a 2.5 week stretch, late November, early December, in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, to where you play all your group games, then you play your quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, and then you have like a 3-day break, and then you come back with Christmas.
The NBA Cup break, like the All-Star break kind of deal.
Like
Adam Silver, if you're watching, not that we expect you to make a good idea, but this is a good one.
Don't give him anything.
Tune in to The Daily Grind with your host, Loot Hatmaker, every Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Welcome back to the Two Bucks Sports Show, brought to you by FanDuel. Got my guy Jared here with me today, filling in for Uncle Buck, who got stuck at a substation doing Power Ranger things. Here's hoping he does not get electrocuted today. It would be
Maybe
the first, I believe.
If that happens.
Go Power Rangers. Hopefully so. But we appreciate y'all being here. If y'all tapped in, thank y'all for hanging out with us today. If you're over on X, please like and retweet. If you're in the YouTube comments, close the comments, hit the thumbs up. It helps us more than you know. Pop them back open. Let us know what you think. I thought last night, sidebar, meant to say this earlier, was an elite uniform game. We had the old school Timberwolves, court and unis. I'm a big fan of the Platinum City Editions we did this year. I undefeated in them. BC got blood all over it and still was hooping last night. But I love that. Last night was an elite uni combination, Jared.
It was amazing. The only thing that could have made it better, in my opinion, was the teal, the teal like old Vancouver. Like that's just like I like the current, but I like if it would have been old versus old, I would have loved that.
Like we did with the Raptors last year when they went black and purple, and we were all white Vancouver. Like that was sorry, Mama, but that was uniform porn, and it was awesome. Speaking of, that's a bad transition.
Whoa.
So, as if the college football landscape couldn't get any wilder with any more pressure and weird degenerate type behavior, Prediction Market Kalshi has notified a federal regulator on Wednesday, yesterday, that it was self-certifying markets on whether college athletes will enter the transfer portal. What that means in layman terms is they want to be able to put odds out there for people to bet on if certain players would hit the transfer portal. They're saying that anything from a school announcement to a social media post to a verbal announcement would count. And so degenerate gamblers like myself, who was a Cedric Howard point and 2 Vince Williams Jr. assists away from $200 last night, could place money on college athletes to transfer, which to me, Jared, sounds like a whole other Pandora's box that could open in what is already a weird betting market.
It's awful. It's terrible. Like that can't happen. I don't like it at all. And here's the quote that stands out to me from the article that you sent. The NCAA vehemently opposes college sports prediction markets. NCAA President Charlie Baker said in a statement to ESPN, "It is already bad enough that student athletes face harassment and abuse for lost bets on game performance, and now Kalshi wants to offer bets on their transfer decisions and status. This is absolutely unacceptable and will place even greater pressure on student athletes while threatening competition integrity and recruiting processes." He follows it up by saying their decisions and future should not be gambled with, especially in an unregulated marketplace that does not follow any rules of legitimate sports betting operators. That's perfectly summed up. That's probably the best thing the NCAA has ever came out and said in the past few years. Like, those players already get harassed enough, so it's just
you imagine
a whole new thing.
Those message boards geniuses that would be in DMs harassing these kids about to transfer or not to transfer based on how much money they would win or lose. Like, it's gross. Listen, I'm all for betting responsibly. I use FanDuel at least on a weekly basis to bet on college football, professional basketball, but it's fun money that I can play with. Like, I put in $50 and I've
it's
won
also
several
regulated
times. It's regulated. It's not its own game performance and not hedging your future performance like this would be for these kids on where they would go. It feels gross. I don't like it. 0 out of 10 would not recommend the NCAA or just the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, to allow this to happen.
Are they? Yeah, it's
and to be fair to Kalshi's defense, they did say that not every market that they analyze goes to listing. Not everything that they do turns into bettable product. And I hope that this is one that they're just testing out.
Yeah.
Because as of last night, you still cannot bet on the NCAA transfer portal.
Yeah, like the part, I'm not saying I respect it, but the part, I get them trying new things and trying to get because they're new. Like, they've been, I think that they're not even a year old, I don't believe. So it's just one of those things where it's just like, it's a bad idea that hopefully once it got out there, that they realize how bad of an idea it sounds like, and it gets shot down and hopefully never makes it. Because
We've already
especially
got tampering as is. They're
Yeah.
tampering with the Florida running back, Georgia Tech's quarterback. Like tampering is rampant as is. It's only going to get worse when you can bet on it.
Yeah, it'll get 10 times worse if you can bet on it. And players' mental health that comes into effect too already. It just makes it 10 times worse.
Yep, absolutely. I know you got about 4 minutes before you get out of here. So if you need a dip, you're more than welcome.
They're on a field trip. They just left. They should be getting back in like 30 minutes to have lunch. So I got like 10 more minutes of wiggle room.
Perfect. Because we're going to transition into our official odds partner, FanDuel, that is well regulated, a safe place. They have responsible gaming.
Yes.
I've already been hit with you've been on the site for 30 minutes and haven't made a play. Do you need to take a break? Because I've got the odds pulled up over here to talk about Alabama and Oklahoma. Right now, let me tell you this. Over on FanDuel, they do have a 50% profit boost on this game. You really feel strongly that Alabama is going to win as an underdog. They're going to cover. They're going to go over the 1.5. You can put money on them at minus 104 on the money line. If you feel like Oklahoma is going to win, minus 112. Oklahoma's a 1.5 point favorite. Means it's a pick 'em on a neutral field.
Yeah.
This is literally just a nod because it's the home field. But you can get a 50% profit boost. Super easy. Go over to FanDuel.com sportsbook. Go to FanDuel.com. Click join now. Sign up. You click OK. And then when you add your bets, all you got to do is toggle it on. And you get a 50% profit boost. So that means if you win $100, you get another 50 tacked on top of it, Jared. Great place to go bet on the college football playoffs in what's going to be an electric game in Norman on Friday night.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Is the third time the charm for Alabama, or I've gone back and forth on this game, mainly leaning one way with the team in Norman, but this one's going to be a good one. And honestly, I like this game kicking off the first round of the college football playoff. It kind of sets the tone.
Yep, absolutely. And you would say that they faced earlier this year. Oklahoma went to Tuscaloosa, won 23-21, late field goal on the heels of uncharacteristically three Ty Simpson turnovers.
Yeah.
But you would say that it was just a random stat because turnovers typically are. But Oklahoma is top 5 at forcing turnovers this year. They're top 10 in turnover margin this year. They are elite at forcing interceptions, fumbles, and getting after quarterbacks. And while their offense has sputtered, much like John Mateer did tripping over that tackling dummy in practice the other day, since his thumb surgery, this defense is elite enough to carry Oklahoma when that offense sputters. Because if you can score 10, 13 points on offense, this defense can win you a lot of games.
Yeah, and I really think, Mateer still has a game where he threw for over 330 since the thumb injury. But I think with he's had 3 weeks off now, not having to play in the SEC championship game, I really think he's now getting to truly rehab it more and more. And to where it may be you get a really good John Mateer game coming out. Rusty, you mentioned how they pressure the quarterback. One stat that you didn't mention in particular, they are second in the country in sack rate. And that's why Ty Simpson had 3 uncharacteristic turnovers. They forced, 3 fumbles and an interception on Ty Simpson. This team can get after it, and especially for an Alabama team who neither of these teams can run the football. But if Bama can figure out how to run the football, I think they'll have a better shot. But this offense is too one-dimensional for a hungry Oklahoma defense.
That's it. They are the number 9 total defense in the country. Alabama's number 12. This is going to be good old-fashioned slobber knocker football. This is tighten your chin strap, tie up your cleats, cinch up your helmet because it's fixing to get real. And these two teams, they thrive on defense. This is going to be like, whereas we talked about Miami and Texas A&M yesterday, where that game could easily be 46-41. Those are 2 really good defenses, but those offenses are like nuclear reactor type offenses. This one could be a very low scoring game. FanDuel has the over under set at 40.5. I think I would almost be likely to bet the under on that because of the way these two teams play defense. The first game went over. It was 23-21, so settled at 44. But you can also see the difference in the yardage. The over-under is set at 322.5 for Alabama, 309 for Oklahoma, being some of the lowest non-G5 that we've seen so far. But this has the recipe for a good old-fashioned – I know Oklahoma hadn't been in the SEC very long, but this could be a good old-fashioned, old-school SEC-type matchup, Jared, where you've just got strong defense. But neither team – and this is the thing. Both teams are excellent against the run. but neither offense runs the ball particularly well. So it's one of those things where, like, you don't have to necessarily sell out now to stop the run, though Bama looks like they're going to get Jam Miller back, which would be huge. Because in the 2 games he's played, the 2 games he's been fully healthy in this year, kid is electric and can be a game changer for the Tide and take some pressure off of Ty Simpson. But this Oklahoma defense does not budge very much against the run. And
they don't.
I'm curious what that's going to do for Alabama's offense getting him back.
Yeah, and you saw the game they won against Georgia earlier this year, where I think that was Jam's first or second game of the year. Full game. Bama runs their best when they can get outside the tackles, which not good. But every single successful run that they had against Georgia, Jam Miller was able to break off like a 10-plus yard run outside the tackles. So if the tackles can seal off the edge and Bama can get to the outside, I think they have a good chance to win. Jam Miller in the first game only had 9 carries, averaged 3 yards per carry. They had 2 rushing touchdowns, though, with Daniel Hill. Ty still threw for 326 yards in that first matchup. This defense is going to be good. It's going to be a rowdy Norman. Bama has to show up in the second half. Their second half offense this year has not been great, besides the comeback against South Carolina and LSU a little bit. They got to show up in the second half. That's going to be the key part in this game for me.
My key part of the game is passing defense. Oklahoma is elite. They're tied with Texas A&M for the most sacks in the country. They're getting 3.42 sacks per game. Elite at rushing the quarterback. But they're 31st in passing offense. Passing yards allowed, averaging 378 yards per game. Alabama is 6th in the country against the pass. Oklahoma doesn't run the ball super well. Mateer can throw the ball really well. Oklahoma, where they mitigate some of that yardage allowed is through elite pass rush and elite turnover forcing. Can they make Ty Simpson uncharacteristically turn the ball over again? If so, I think Oklahoma can get a big win at home. Where Alabama is going to be big, Jam Miller could be big for this team in the RPO play action game. Especially if he can start getting outside and getting some of those chunks, it's going to make Oklahoma have to be honest on defense and can open up some space for Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams has been missing most of the year. The Alabama fans have been putting out an APB for him all year long. If they can get the RPO game going with Jam Miller, if they can get their tight end back, if they can get some space for Ryan Williams, there's a world where Alabama goes into Norman and walks away with this one because of passing defense. That's my key to the game.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought the RPO. I think if Bama wants to win and get Ty comfortable, where Ty Simpson has been really good this year is when he gets the ball out quick and lets his receivers go to work on these slants, on these outs, anywhere where he can go one read, then quickly do a second read or hit his first read immediately. That's when Bama's passing offense is really, really good. Get him quick, let him and Jam Miller go to work on the RPOs. And I think this Bama team can go into Norman and knock it off. But like you said, this Bama defense on the pressure is way too good. And I'm going to like that chess game in the RPO and how Bama tries to combat that second best sack rate in the country.
Because if they get Josh Cuevas back at tight end, he could be huge in this game in that little tight end pop pass, little RPO tight end
block, then go
out in the flats, a little release down the seam. He could have a big game if Oklahoma has to sell out for the run game. Last thing before we get out of here, as I know you got a time crunch. If Alabama, we've got a quarterfinal, again, over on FanDuel, you've got 30% profit boost on all NCAA football bets right now at FanDuel.com. Right now, if Oklahoma was to get the win Friday night, they would advance to face Indiana. The Hoosiers would open as a 9.5-point favorite over the Sooners in the quarterfinals. If Alabama gets a win, they're a 6.5-point underdog to the Hoosiers. So it's the FanDuel projects Alabama to be 3 points better than Oklahoma against Indiana.
Yeah, whoever wins is going to have their handful with Indiana. Indiana's really good, not last year's Indiana where they fall off a little bit. But obviously you got to win before you get to the next round. This one has a chance to be the game of round one. I know Miami, Texas A&M can be really good. This one has a chance to be the game of round one, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And I'm glad we're kicking it off with that solo game on Friday.
Yeah. Ricky Bobbies, if you got a prediction question, ask away, man. We got a couple minutes. I got a couple minutes. If Jared needs to dip out, he can, but would love to know what your questions are. April, I'm curious where this is going to go. why all the trees lean to the west in Georgia? Is it because Auburn sucks or Alabama sucks? Like, which one is it? I got to know which one you are. Ricky Bobbies is saying that Bama wins 21-13. That would be – Alabama has had an Oklahoma problem since Brett Venables came into Norman. And I think this could happen, but it's like we talked about earlier. It's going to be on the pass defense. It's going to be on RPOs with Jan Miller. And can Ty Simpson protect the football?
It's going to be low scoring no matter what.
Yeah.
I think that you may get to 40, but I think this over-under was set at what they scored the first game at 44. I think you hit the under. Like,
yeah,
100%.
Ricky Bobby's projection here would hit the under, and I think that's wise. We talked about Tulane the other day. I think Tulane, it does, like, they could have right now, they could have John Sumrall, they could have Nick Saban, they could have whoever they wanted coaching that team. I just think the talent disparity between them and Ole Miss is too much. But I'll say this: I wasn't on Tuesday's show when Drew and Kenny talked about Ole Miss and Tulane, partly on purpose, partly because I had a work thing come up. But if there was one of the G5 teams that can find a way to win,
it's Tulane.
I think it's Tulane because Ole Miss has been distracted. Even this week in bowl preparation, they were asking Trinidad Chambliss, where are you going to play next year? Not about Tulane, not about this game, not about what would happen if you beat Tulane and then you move on to the second round to face Georgia, but where are you going to play next year? I just think there's a lot of distractions around this Ole Miss team. I'm not going to go out and be bold and say I think Tulane's going to win the game. We're going to make our formal picks tomorrow. But I look for one of the G5 schools to cover. I'll say that.
I think that's a fair prediction.
I won't say which one, but Ricky Bobbies might be sniffing up the right tree here as he's talking about that. I think one of the G5 schools. I think you can
put that pullover and your actual co-host is your co-host team to put two and two together. I think we know which one you're leaning to on that one.
I think one of the G5 schools will cover, and that's not me being overly biased.
Yeah.
Kiffin to Michigan? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's going to be Kenny Dillingham. I think he is, if you read the tea leaves and read between the lines, like he said a lot of great things about Arizona State. He's from Arizona State. That's where his alma mater. But it's Michigan, man. Like, they're not going to get Kalen DeBoer. I don't think Kalen DeBoer leaves Alabama for Michigan. I think it's going to be Kenny Dillingham. I also think Jed Fish is a really strong and would be a good option from Washington. But I think that's Kenny Dillingham's job. Jared, what do you think?
Yeah, it feels like Dillingham. It would be wild if DeBoer were to lose on Friday, then Saturday morning you wake up and he's gone to maize and yellow or whatever it is up there. But
maize and blue.
That's going to be maize and blue. There you go. Maize is yellow. You're looking at a very interesting coaching search this late in the year, and I know they waited till after signing day to pull the trigger on getting more out.
But it's Michigan.
But it's Michigan. But you also dug yourself into a hole, and all the best candidates are gone. But then again, like you said, it's Michigan. You can get whatever candidate you want.
I mean, you could outside of maybe 3 jobs. You can unseat just about anybody. I would throw Alabama in there simply because I do really think Kalen DeBoer is going to stay. But I think there's probably like maybe Texas, Kirby Smart in Georgia. Marcus Freeman in Notre Dame probably wouldn't, but other than that, you can probably go get just about anybody unseated from whatever job you wanted to.
Yeah. So,
but that's going to do it for your Thursday edition of the $2 Sports Show. Jared, thank you so much for hopping in with me today, buddy. I know you got to get out of here. I appreciate you hanging with Drew's absence. We'll be back tomorrow previewing the Wizards game in the first half of the show, talking about the Grizzlies hosting Washington on Saturday night. Back after the show, we're going to make our official picks against the FanDuel spread, our official odds provider here at Bluff City Media, on all of the first-round games from Friday night all day Saturday. Got a jam-packed weekend of college football. Hey, new faces, Afro, Ricky Bobbies, thank y'all for being here. King Meeks, Edward, Ninja DJ, Wayno, the usual suspects, thank y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central right here on Bluff City Media's YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up on the way out the door. Y'all go be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. And always remember, there are no refunds for what you hear on the $2 Sports Show because you always get what you pay for. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the $2 Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.